Recording.
Hey, everybody, welcome to episode 11 of Hooked on Sonics. I'm Bruce. That's Tony.
And that's
Oh,
Bruce.
where? Oh, that's my dog.
Good deal, good deal. Good to see you
Hi.
again this week, man.
Great seeing you, my friend.
Good deal, good deal. Had a good week so far?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I was off for a few days last week under the weather, and I'm slim, trim, fit, and ready for round two.
Go in swinging. Go in fucking
That's right.
swinging. I got 100 chicken wings to cook for the game this weekend. And I told Kate, I said, I am not cooking Saturday night. Not happening. We're going out. We're going out for Mexican. I can't do
Yeah.
it.
Tap out. Tap out. I'm done.
But yeah, man, we've been listening to this week.
Well, let's see. I was kind of all over the place this week. Let's see. I was jamming on some Duke Ellington live in Copenhagen, and I think it was 1961.
Nice.
Then I was listening to a local bluegrass legend here in East Tennessee, David West and his Cider Mountain Boys.
Okay.
He currently has a music store in a little town called Clinton, called Ciderville. It's a really cool joint. It's a legend. It's a legendary place. All the big names go through there just to see him and grab some gear. And then I was listening to a Americana guy, Hayes Carl, who's really cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, and I forgot one other band. That comment last week from Eddie about Mr. Bella. I actually checked a lot of their stuff out. I really like their stuff. Let's see. Some standouts for me was Set Afire, Psychological, Back to Vegas. Some really good production there. It's a tight sound. Singer's fantastic. I really like her. I just wish there was some more guitar solos. That's was kind of missing for me.
So that's something that was kind of, to me, it's got a modern metal feel for sure.
Yep.
And I digged it, but good luck. I get it.
Yeah.
It's not really. I don't listen to a lot of modern metal. Nothing against it. I just don't listen to it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
My mind is many other places, and I may get to it somewhere later down the road. You never know. Somebody could turn me on to
Yeah.
something. Check it out, dude. I didn't jump onto hearing about Ghost until fuck, like 4 albums, 5 albums in, or something like that, and then it took a
Mm-hmm.
track. It took a track that's almost sounded like a Scorpions track that kind of. Oh, hold on a second. Who's these dudes?
Like, well, what?
Oh, I didn't think I cared for those dudes. Yeah, it was good stuff, man. If
Yeah.
you really kind of dig in there, I mean, they get a lot of flack. You either love them or you hate them. Let's see, what was I listening to this week? Definitely listening to some Church of Misery, dude. I'm still anticipating that album. Just I know that they're re-releasing the volume one on um, vinyl, but I wish they'd do a digital release of it, or a proper digital release of it. And then I'm just waiting on the new album on that. I was listening to some Typo, and I think we're still checking out some Heavy Temple,
Okay.
which were pretty good. And it's funny that you mentioned this female thing, because Heavy Temple's run by a female singer as well, and there's just not enough. I don't think that no matter how popular a female fronted band is, let's say, right? Because I can't just solidify it to metal. I can't solidify it to country or something like that. It's really hard, and you don't hear often that they break huge boundaries of financial status per se in the music industry. One of the things I wanted to talk about was the music industry and where everybody seems to think it's all messed up. No, in all honesty, you as an artist, you have more power than you ever had. Yes, you need the help of the record companies, but a lot of times, man, it sounds more like a distributing issue than it is or a distribution issue than it is let's line your pockets with this and go do this and go do that. And in the meantime, if you make enough money to cover it, we got your back type situation, whatever those situations were. And we'll get into a little bit more of that here later in the conversation about the album review. And I do want to talk about that album that you gave me to review. Once again,
Well, that's good. That's why we're here.
We are paying homage to Black History Month, and I think I think we're going to pull some good albums out of our repertoire.
Absolutely.
I know I definitely want to talk a little bit more about that, but we'll get to that here in a bit. In news, man, what do you got? I think you had some Grammys.
Well, hold on. Whoa.
Oh, man, we're going to play this game.
What are we drinking?
What are you drinking? How about you start?
I am drinking.
Did you find it?
I found it.
Nice.
Brewdog Cannon Blast. It is a dry hopped Pilsner based out of Columbus, Ohio. And this has it definitely has an IPA type feel to it.
It's a Pilsner. It's not going to have an IPA feel to it. It's probably it's probably a hopped up Pilsner. Dude,
it's
an IPA. You know what else is supposed to be triple hop filtered? Miller. It's a Pilsner.
Yeah. But this has some citrus aftertaste to it. So it's not bad. It's not bad.
Where'd you get it?
Rhea got it for me.
I still haven't found it up here.
Rhea got it for me somewhere up there when last time she's up in Columbus. So,
well, I'll be honest with you. I haven't done a deep dive. I know where I can usually find everything, and I haven't been up that way in a few years. But I am going to go up and need to take a look around because I may even do that tomorrow.
Yeah, there's that other. Remember, there's that other Blue Jackets themed beer too that I sent you.
I have seen that one, but I just can't figure out how I'm going to get it to you. You need to come up and pick them up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
All right, and I got some really cool stuff to show you. A lot of cool stuff we can do now. Bring your banjo, mandolin, whatever.
Okay, what are you drinking?
What am I drinking? Nothing this evening.
Yeah. What?
Nothing. I'm sober this evening. I'm celebrating sober February for all the lovers out there.
For all the lonely lovers.
Psych. We are having, I believe this is Rheingeist Doombird.
Yeah.
Or no, Terrorbird.
Terrorbird.
Yeah. This is it might as well be a Doombird. It looks me.
What's the taste?
Imperial India Pale Ale, definitely pretty hoppy. I love India Pale Ales. You know that. The ABV on this one is be good to me. 8.5.
Oh, there you go.
We have a winner. Chicken dinner.
Yeah, mine is a whopping 5.
Terrorbird dinner. Yeah, but my alcohol intake is pretty. Let's just say some people have said not that I'm a belligerent drunk, but it's looking more and more like I'm drinking it.
Love it.
All right, man. Let's get to this news, man. I want to get these out.
Yeah,
for sure, dude. I got to get these out.
Yeah. So the news I got. Thank you to the Grammy committee for proving that I was right. Ozzy Osbourne won 2 Grammys for the album that I gave you and that you shit on that I really loved.
Well, I'm going to respond to that by beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and a lot of people get paid for certain Grammy situations. This is a big argument that's going on right now. You should You should see there's an interview out there with Sway, I think it was, on Eminem's thing, where he kind of talks about why he doesn't do the whole Grammy thing. And if
Yeah.
you think about it, it kind of makes sense, dude. They play favorites. They play
Oh,
favorites,
sure.
So, me personally, I'm still going to stick with it. Didn't really care for the album.
Okay.
I didn't really
And
care.
then
It's
also,
been a long time since I can say that an Ozzy album has been like, yeah, it's great stuff for me. You know what I mean? But sorry, no disrespect to
gotcha.
the Oz man. I love him. I hate that he's going to have to leave music and touring, but at the end of the day, he is a legend. Much respect. No disrespect. Just didn't care for these albums, man. They didn't do it for him.
Hmm. Also, Nirvana and Heart won Grammy Lifetime Achievement Awards.
I can agree with both of those. They had a very, very huge musical impact. I am not
Yep.
a Nirvana fan. We all know that. No disrespect to any member of Nirvana, or living or deceased. I just wasn't a big Nirvana fan. I should be a bigger Nirvana fan, being that grunge kind of developed from a doom style feel, sludge style feel. But they just didn't do it. And they made me sad, dude. I couldn't sit and listen to sad music. Like, it's not happy music.
Yeah. No, that is true.
And don't get me wrong.
Nirvana's never been accused of happy music.
Well, don't get me wrong. I like Doom too. I mean, and Doom's kind of
Yeah.
depressing and miserable, but it's to me, I don't know, dude. It's just no disrespect. Not my favorite.
Yep.
Now, I
What
like a
kind of
lot of
new
bands that
stuff
they
you
were
got?
influenced by. What do I got music wise? So I'm going to list off some tours I saw coming up because I think that's going to kind of be my shtick, man. Look like Ministry, Gary Newman, and Frontline will be touring here. Uh, Sisters of Mercy is going on tour after 14 years of not touring. Um, it looks like Skinny Puppy is actually going to be on their final tour. Voivod, I don't know if you're familiar with those guys, but at one point in time, Jason Newsted from
Newstead was in
Metallica
it.
was part of them, and they had an album back when we were in high school called Quattro that had a song on it called "Wading Through the Darkness." It is a fantastic album, and the album they did with Newsted was really good too. Nothing Face is a classic album by them. I like a lot. You remember going into Buzzard's Nest down there on
Yeah.
Broad? They had a big Voivod Nothing Face poster up on the wall.
God.
Yeah, dude. Um, let's see. Ozzy got Patient Number 9, got the Grammys, you said. Looks like Disturbed's also going on tour as well. And those are just things that I saw.
Yep.
Um, I think there's some other guys overseas. I think I saw Crowbar was overseas or getting ready to be overseas here soon. Um, Church of Misery is actually going to get to play with them somewhere, which I'd love to go, but
Ah!
can we get them in Columbus? Still been waiting to hear what's been going on with the Muddy Roots Festival, all the announcements of bands that are coming from them. If certain bands fall into that lineup, and I mean, it's not that it's a bad lineup now. I'm just waiting to see if anything bigger comes onto that bill.
Yeah.
I'm definitely buying tickets, and I may buy your tickets.
Easy, Tiger.
Hope you can take a weekend off. I'm bringing my guitar player, and we're getting a hotel room.
Hotel,
And I'm,
motel.
and I'm bringing a lot of bourbon.
Ah, hell yeah. Sweet.
But other than that, that's what I got, man.
And
Anything else you
that's
want to
the
go over?
news.
And that is the news.
The news.
Because no news is
It's
good
good
news.
news. But this is a lot of good news.
This was not.
Yeah. All right. I went last time.
Oh, you want me to go first on my album review this time?
That's right.
Okay, not a problem. I don't have a problem
Or
with that.
let me ask you this. Do you think it'd be anticlimactic if you went first?
I don't care.
Go ahead.
I have some things to say.
Say it.
I had the
Say it,
Carolina
man!
chocolate. I had the Carolina Chocolate Drops Leaving Eden album, and I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say when I first listened to the album, I thought I was listening to something from possibly the 40s, the 50s, maybe, no later than the 60s, no way.
Yep.
And I had to go do some research on this one because I wanted to know a few things. The members of this band are fantastic. These are fantastic musicians, hands down. You can't deny these are fantastic musicians. And Rhiannon, is that her name? The singer?
Yeah, Rhiannon Giddens.
Rhiannon Giddens is an amazing, beautiful voice that I think more people should hear. She's definitely phenomenal. Um, the playing across the album was great. Doing some research, um, I'm going to say something, and I'm going to try and keep it as politically correct as possible. There's a title on this album that uses the word Negro. And I don't know if that is such an accepted term nowadays. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
But I also noticed that they had an album that used the word as well. And these guys have been around somewhere around 2008, 2012, 2014 era, which is not long ago. But I will tell you, I wonder if that doesn't kind of paint them to the picture of what times were like when some of this stuff was written. Because I don't believe everything on the album after researching it was theirs. I
Correct.
believe I believe that there were some covers or homages to older bluegrass style tunes. And I'm going to be very honest with you. This is absolutely, undisputedly, in my opinion, right now, probably the best bluegrass album I have ever heard that fits something that I had a really good time jamming with because it's not my big frame of reference. Okay.
Right.
Um, I thoroughly enjoyed this album. Phenomenal singer, phenomenal playing across the whole album. I could not find a bad track. My only concern is that someone who sees things, the way they're changing and should be changing, everything should change for the good, right? Um, some of that like terminology, someone may be turned off by it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I hope that they wouldn't be, because in all honesty, it's a great album. It's an absolutely great album, including the album that uses that term, or the track that uses the term. But I'm not going to make a big deal of it. I'm not trying to make a big deal of it. But I will tell you, this is hands down probably the best bluegrass album I've ever heard. And she, as a singer, the gentlemen were very, very good too, but she as a singer is definitely a standout. She
Yep.
is she is somebody to follow or somebody to know. And she kind of gives off the vibe that you could walk into a club down there in Tennessee and she'd be up on stage jamming with a band behind her. And if you didn't know who she was, you'd you'd be missing out on an opportunity to understand who she was. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
So with that being said, I am going to tell you that this is probably going to get one of my highest ratings to date. And this is going to get a 9.75. Why a 9.75 and not a perfect 10? Because bluegrass is just not something that I listen to. But
Yep.
this is a phenomenal, phenomenal example of the album. If you want to dive into bluegrass, these guys are a bit late in the game, don't get me wrong, but they pay homage to things that were elder in the game, and they do a fantastic job.
Yep.
9.75. How do you like my rating?
I love it. I completely agree with you. So just to piggyback real quick on what you were saying, they pay their whole purpose was to bring to light African American music back then. So Mahala is an old African song that they updated. A lot of those songs were older African American songs. Even
Yeah.
their name, Carolina Chocolate Drops, that was a name of band in the 40s.
Well, dude, the reason why I had to see what year it was is because this really kind of gave off a bit of an old school, man,
Yes,
almost horribly,
almost like a ragtime band.
just you could see how they were these people who may have created these songs were so good, and you could see how the industry exploited them.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But it was great stuff. With that being said, we're at about 9 minutes, so
Yep.
I want to hear your review, and then let's go
Sure.
together our albums.
Sure. So I reviewed Black Sabbath's Tyr album. I believe that's how you say it, TYR, released August 20th, 1990. This album came out with a lot of heavy hitters in that year. 1990 was a huge year for metal music. Razor's Edge, Heartbreak Station, Scorpions came out with one of their big albums. I mean, huge. Cherry Pie, Warrant. So, listening to this album, it definitely sounds like they were trying to chase a trend, whatever that was at that time. They purposely went away from that dark vision that they had. Tony Iommi straight up said that, and it shows. For me, there was a lot of little bits and pieces, like, oh, here's a good riff here. Oh, but the lyrics suck. Oh, that's a good line there, but my God, this is a mess. The Lawmaker. It's a great riff, but God, those lyrics are stupid. I didn't like it. Unfortunately for me, the two really good songs on that album is at the end. For me, is Valhalla and Heaven in Black. Heaven in Black to me is probably the best song on that album. Valhalla is right there though. It's very good.
Yeah.
I came away with, you know what? If this wasn't labeled a Black Sabbath album, this would line up with, it'd be an okay hair band album, like a Sabotage or something like that. But it's not a good Black Sabbath album, if that makes any sense.
Right. If that's how you feel about it.
Yeah. I think, Tony Martin, he's a good melodic singer. He's just not what I'm looking for in Black Sabbath.
Understandable. And people have that, you know what I mean? Deep Purple go through a bunch of different singers. Rainbow went through a bunch of different singers.
Yep.
It's just all what you're into, man. And that's understandable.
Yep. So, all in all for me, really 2, maybe 3 songs that were actually pretty good. And I listen to this thing a lot. I'm like, okay, I gotta be Mr. Positive here. Like, that's about as much as I could find positive
fine.
for me.
Fine. That's fine.
But
do you find yourself wanting to go back and listen to any of those 2 or 3 tracks? Like they'll come up in your rotation every once in a while.
Heaven in Black May. But I am interested in hearing revisiting Headless Cross, just to see.
Yeah.
But for me, this
I think Headless Cross was the bigger of the 2 or 3 albums that he did with them.
Yeah, he did 3.
Yeah.
So for me, this one's probably a 4. It's a 4.
That's a bummer. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it though. I get it. We can't agree on everything.
Yeah.
It's understandable. But with that being said, I appreciate your input there. Let's give each other's album.
All right.
All right. Is it my
Am I
turn or
going?
yours? Is it my turn or yours?
I just talked. You talk. You go.
My album for you is going to be my first Black History Month album for you because I wasn't prepared for that.
Yeah.
All right. You are going to get Funkadelic,
Ah,
my all-time favorite album that any members of Parliament or Funkadelic ever touched. Maggot Brain.
whoop, whoop.
Heavy hitter for Black History Month.
Oh,
You are,
yeah.
you are welcome, my friend. You are so welcome.
Oh, we're going to have fun next week. We are going
Enjoy
to
the
have
ride.
so much fun next week.
All right, what you got for me?
So, I have for you a young lady that I got to see over at the A&R bar pushing this album. Her name is Valerie June. The album is called Pushing Against the Stone.
All right. I will look forward to hearing this album. Looks like she jams a little.
Yes, very unique voice.
Nice. I can't wait to hear it.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. So, do you have any frame of reference with Maggot Brain?
Oh, yeah. I love that album.
Yeah.
I love that album. And I can't wait to really do a deep dive in it and just analyze the shit out of it. I love it.
So I'll share something with you, not to influence you or anything. If you had to ask me, if you had to ask me of all the guitar players and guitar musical pieces I've ever listened to in my life, what is my absolute hands down, undisputed favorite? It will never change. It will always be Funkadelic's Maggot.
Mm-hmm.
Phenomenal. And I've heard it live 7 times.
Oh,
Dude, I've seen Parliament 7.
see, I missed out on that.
Well, I think he's on
YouTube.
his last tour, dude.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen
I don't think George Clinton and Parliament Funkadelic's coming down here.
I don't know why not. Tennessee ain't got nothing against Parliament Funkadelic. Ain't nobody got nothing against Parliament. Tell you what, dude, that's the best place to be in the world. You ever been to? If you've never been, you don't even have a clue what you
Oh,
missed.
dude, I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it.
People from all walks of life, all races, colors, creeds, and they are just having a fucking ball watching the man get down on stage and all the lunacy that goes on the stage, dude. They're a hell of a stage show. They're a hell of a stage show. I would have liked to see them back in the day when they had the spaceship and all that shit, like when the mothership landed and all that other good
Oh,
shit.
yeah.
Yeah, dude, I'm a huge Parliament fan. Huge Parliament fan. On any given Sunday, you can catch me rolling down the street. You got a real thing in there's a whole lot of rhythm going round. Yeah, dude, huge. I love funk. But with that being said, looks like we're
Yeah.
at under a minute. I want to thank you for joining me this week. And sorry the album wasn't up to your snuff, but I loved yours.
Listen, that's okay. I loved mine too. And I still love Sabbath. And I still love you.
All right. I love you too, brother. Till next week. Same YouTube channel, same YouTube time.
See ya.
Later.